time for Coffee on the Coast. We are here with Heart-A-Rama. Show. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Coffee on the Coast. I'm your host this afternoon, Tina Prigge. And look who's with me. I'm delighted to be joined by Fritz Stram, Tom Bartlemay, and Steve and Karen Olson. And we are here because we are talking about Heart-A-Rama, and this is the 51st year, and tomorrow's opening night. Is that right?
That's right.
Wow. Okay, down and dirty, what do people need to know about the 51st Heart-A-Rama?
First and foremost, there's tickets available.
Tickets! All right, how do people get their tickets?
Go ahead, Karen. You want to touch on this?
You can get them online at heartarama.org, or you can go to Teetsa's Piggly Wiggly in Manitowoc or Two Rivers.
Cool.
They are available for every night yet, I believe, but they're selling fast.
Heartarama.org. Okay, so you've got 6 nights. You're performing opening tomorrow night. So it's Thursday, Friday, and Saturday of this coming weekend, and then Thursday, Friday, and Saturday of next weekend. This is at the Community House in downtown Two Rivers. How much does a ticket go for? Is it one price per ticket?
They're $18 at the Pigs, and if you get it online, it's $19.
Got it. Okay. If you buy it online, do you send it to people? Do they have to pick it up? Is it will call?
We will do will call for this weekend now. We don't want to get tickets stuck in the mail, so we will do will call for this first weekend, but we will still send out tickets for next weekend. And we'd also like to add that there will be tickets available at the door as well. So
cool. So people can just decide on the spot, walk up, and have great entertainment while supporting an important cause.
Yes.
Can I just add?
Yeah.
Coming to the show on Saturday night, hoping that there's a ticket at the door, I wouldn't recommend it. A friend of mine came last year to the last Saturday night show, and literally, I think he was the one that got one of the last 2 tickets that were available. So don't run the risk, get them beforehand and be ready.
Right. Kind of think about this like the old days when tickets were extra hard to come by. Like you don't want to necessarily wait and be the last person and miss out. Because this year, I'm going to hold up the poster. So every year there's a theme. This year the theme is Holiday Road. What can people expect?
Go ahead, Fritz.
No, I was just going to say quite a bit. Our show has a lot of great variety to it, and we've got some good singing and a great pit band. But this year's theme has holiday in it, and so in Heart-A-Rama's fashion, we've decided to kind of spoof on different holidays, and I think that it comes out that we've got touched on just about all of the important holidays, including one that I'm directing called Garbage Day, and pretty important holiday for everybody every week. Actually, if you don't really think about it, you need to think about it, and we're going to bring that to your attention during the show. But I think we also have one of our motto, our goal is to inform, inspire, and entertain. And of course, Heart-A-Rama is all about entertaining. And hopefully we can inspire people maybe to come up on stage with us or go do something good for themselves or others that might need it. And when it comes to heart care, that kind of thing. But our information too, we actually add a little bit of information with one of our skits as well on staying healthy. And that's a theme to a lot of the things that we try to do. But there's one that's just outright making it a positive for heart health.
Yeah, so let's remind viewers that, this is fun and it's awesome and enjoyable and entertaining. And most of all, this is a fundraiser for the Wisconsin Heart Association, right? That is the whole point, is to do good. And so, by attending the show and buying a ticket, by buying any of the swag that's available at the show, it is all going towards supporting this important effort. So let's just have a quick PSA. You guys shared this graphic with me, common heart attack warning signs. Drink this in, know this, do not forget this, and know that by supporting Heart-A-Rama, you are supporting the Wisconsin Heart Association efforts. Okay, was that a good PSA?
It was.
Great PSA.
Keep in mind, though, that a good chunk of the money also stays local. And we purchase automatic external defibrillator devices for different nonprofit and public locations. So that's a big chunk of that money is staying here locally as well.
And what kind of dollars are you talking about overall? Did you hit your landmark figure with the show last year?
Yes, we did. We proudly raised our $3 million, and we keep saying now this year we're on our track to $4 million. And we're not quite sure when we'll get there, but we're certainly on our way.
So what would you want somebody who's possibly never attended Heart-A-Rama. Maybe somebody's watching this and it's the first time they're hearing about Heart-A-Rama. What do you want them to know about this locally scripted and performed kind of vaudeville style comedy show?
Well, I've always thought it's kind of a throwback to a different era. It's set up to be kind of vaudeville comedy, but in today's world, you tend to be sitting in your chair watching performers up on a stage, where here you're participating. You become part of the show. Popcorn is given out for free. Very commonly, we have popcorn fights between different tables. Beer is available. It's a good time. And actually, that's one of the things that I always kind of feel bad about, because I've been involved with this since 1995. This is about my 28th year. But charity work is supposed to be dull and boring, something you have to drag yourself to. And I've often felt guilty that this is fun. I enjoy doing this. And yet I'm doing something good for the community and the nation.
Yeah, there's such a great energy and vibe when you attend a Heart-A-Rama show, because it's not just the performance, right? You mentioned there's the Pit Boys. So as people are arriving, you've got this great kind of rock and roll music happening. The whole show has an MC. Here you can see Biff Hansen, right? So it kind of takes you through. You've got the shenanigans of the comedy unfolding on stage, but there's also other things happening, right? There's other things that you can purchase. Karen, can you talk a little bit about some of the amazing swag that's available?
Well, right there we have a picture of our our theme design is on the shirts this year, and we have the short sleeve and the long sleeve, and then we have the crew neck and the hoodie sweatshirts. So there's no excuse for anyone to say you don't have my style in the clothing. And then we also have the traditional notepads that we've had, I think, since day one, just about, right, Tommy?
I'm sure they've been around for a long time.
And then the last couple of years, we've added can koozies. This year we have a new item. It's a decal. It's actually the same decal that we put on the Anytime kits that we handed out a number of years ago. And it's the villain, and it says established in 1971, and you got to have Heart-A motto on it. So it's pretty cool, something new. And yeah, we just try to have a variety of different things. And a lot of those items are, pretty cost efficient, but we do need to let the people know that right there, we only accept cash and checks, although there are time machines on each side of the community house where people, if they want to and or need to run out and go get money, it is available for
Time
them.
machines.
ATM.
ATMs, yeah.
I think we could have our cast go back in one of those time machines. Would be nice.
So Karen, you mentioned the villain. Let's tell viewers. So, the villain is representative of like heart disease, right? But also when we're talking about this vaudeville style show, you can see the image of the villain here with the top hat and the mustache. What does the audience do when the villain comes on stage?
They like to boo at him or her, I guess. And actually this year we have a kinder, gentler villain. I believe it's actually on the poster. If you see the villain, he or she is wearing a Santa hat to stay with our theme of holidays this year. So we thought, actually Sophia Dram, Fritz's daughter, was the one that designed the posters and the program, and we thought that was a fun little touch for this year.
That's awesome. Yeah. So what's so unique about Heart-A-Rama is to that audience engagement that you were talking about. Sometimes audience members are invited on stage. They're invited to boo when the villain comes by, boo hiss, if there's a sweet young thing to participate. What else do you want to tell people about this incredibly unique and special experience of Heart-A-Rama?
The best seat in the house.
Yeah, tell us.
That's one thing we really need to talk about, because it's so funny to tell people from outside the area that we have put this show on. We've been doing it for a long time, and we sell a toilet seat for $2,000 or $3,000, and you get a real funny look and kind of a pause, like, wow, that's really strange. but we generate a really tremendous amount of money every year from selling decorated toilet seats that are autographed by this cast, and it started almost, I think, not as a prank, but part of a skit. And it took off the next year, and every year it's grown since then. And it really is kind of a highlight. It kicks off the show because when the bids are going high, the crowd is whooped up and they're excited. And then we start the show right after that's over with. So we catch them on the rise and keep them going with the show. But definitely the toilet seat is something most unusual.
And it's no ordinary toilet seat. You have an artist that specially decorates and designs them for the theme of the year, right?
They are way too nice to sit on. Yes, they are beautiful. They are designed by Marianne Kinnear, who has been doing it for many years for us. And she always comes up with a unique way to engage our theme in it. So it's a work of art.
And what's pretty cool is there are locally some longtime supporters of Heart-A-Rama, some businesses that every year make sure that they get their bid in there. So if you go to Piggly Wiggly, for example, and I think Festival Foods, for example, you can see they have entire walls with years and years of the different toilet seats on display. That's pretty special.
It's kind of interesting. Like Fritz said, now they go anywhere from like $1,000 to $4,000. About a month ago, I was delivering some tickets to a business, and this guy, the guy told me that he was one of the first toilet seat bidders forever, or one of them, the first ones that ever did it. And he was telling me that he bid $25 and he got to take it home with him. And he gets home with his toilet seat, and his wife looks at him and said, "Well, you could have bought one for $7.99. I forget what place it was at. And she was not at all happy with him that he had spent $25. And now to think, it's gone up to as much as $4,000. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, that would have been back in the 70s, though. Old, I think, or maybe 80s. But.
Right.
Maybe the 80s, I think, is when that started. I'm not 100% certain, but I think it was maybe mid to late 80s is when it started up.
There's one thing I'd like to throw in, if I may. If you're watching this and years ago you went to Heart-A-Rama when it was still back at Jack's or Better in Manitowoc Rapids, and you haven't been to it in Two Rivers, where we've been for about the last 10, 11 years, something, 12, Karen is saying, the facility is really much better. Now, yes, there was something about Jack's, and I think we'd all agree they're just being stuffed in there on those chairs that were about 12 inches wide, and there was no room, and it was hot. But the reality is that Two Rivers Community House is a much better venue. Acoustics are better. The microphones have been much improved since the days back at Jack, and that's a result of Heart-A-Rama itself. Anyone who's got a main speaking part is going to have a stage mic on them, so you're going to be able to hear them even in the back of the hall. Don't put it down just because it's not at Jack's anymore. Jack's was a wonderful place. There was something about it, but the community house really is a much bigger venue.
And the bathrooms are so much better too.
The lines are shorter.
Okay, in past years, I know that there were heart dogs that were served during intermission. Maybe there was some food up front. Is that all still part of the event?
Yes, we still have our pre-show hamburgers and brats and our heart burgers or hearty burgers. So that still goes on. We still do serve our heart dogs at intermission. So that still goes. And as well as I think Karen should touch on, we have some new items, something that's new for us this year. And we're going to do some auction stuff that very unique things. So
don't forget there's beer and wine too.
The beer, well, beer, wine, right. We will keep you hydrated as well as entertained.
Yes, this year we have something that we're really excited about, and it's sports related item. We have a signed Packer football from last year, the last one that Aaron Rodgers' name will be on. We have 2 pair of signed game cleats from Luke Gadeke, who was a Valdez High School grad, actually a former student of mine, and now was a rookie last year for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So he sent us 2 pair of these, so they're up for auction, as well as 2 luxury
club seats.
Club seats to a Brewers game. So those have a bid set, and people will bid the 6 nights of the show, and then we're going to have the great reveal on Monday, May 8th, I believe, at 4:00, and announce the winner of each of those. So that should be interesting.
Nice. Well, and another reason to have cash on hand too. Do you still do like a jewelry raffle, maybe a quilt raffle?
There's no quilt this year, but we do have Delabrew once again has very generously donated a bracelet for each night of the show. And it used to be a pendant, and then this year we decided to go with a bracelet just to see how that goes. And they look really nice. The first week we're doing silver ones, the next week we're doing gold ones.
Cool. And let's give a little love to your sponsors, right? A production like this doesn't happen just off the cuff. It takes not only the efforts of, the producers and the directors and the actors, but also the sponsors. I've got this picture from a past show, and you can see like the hearts on the curtains that give a little love to the sponsors. What do you want people to know about the sponsors?
That we really appreciate their support, and for all these years. There are some advertisers that have been with us for a long time. Maybe not some of the old timers that were with us those original years, but the people that repeat with us are very much appreciated, and even the new ones that we're attracting every year. There's a couple more here, and some drop off, that sort of thing. But it's important to us, and I think we're due for maybe some improvement in how we deal with our special, and bigger sponsor types. I don't know if we should mention any right now, but Karen, one we just were chatting about on email today, just through the printing process, the delay, we didn't get a good recognition in our program this year for Festival Foods. They're helping us out. But at the same breath, Teats' Piggly Wiggly has been a great supporter and for us, even though they've been here for a year, literally for a year now. We have tickets sold there, and we do get some of our supplies from them as well from Festival, and the list could go on. We could talk about this for a couple hours, I bet, about all the different things.
They are really the backbone of our whole show. That's what people don't see. What the people contribute at the show is great, but we couldn't get this off the ground without the support of our sponsors.
Awesome. I'm just going to put this up one more time to remind people we are talking about Heart-A-Rama. It is the 51st season, opens tomorrow night, runs April 27th through the 29th, and then again, May 4th through the 6th. This is at the Two Rivers Community House. Tickets are currently available at Teats' Piggly Wiggly or online at heartarama.org. Burning question, are the seagulls coming back?
I did not see them this year, but I don't get to see everything, so I don't know. I can't say for sure.
You never know where they're going to show up. Maybe just on the roof. We certainly hear them when we're rehearsing.
I do know, Tina, that you and Jason will be at the show one of the nights, and I also know that the Coolest Coast is mentioned. So that's your assignment you'll have to listen up and see when and where it is. No more.
That's so cool. That's awesome. Okay, that's awesome. So this show is 100% locally written, locally directed, locally produced, locally performed. Let's talk a little bit about some of the amazing folks that volunteer their time to be a part of this show. I'm going to put up some fun pictures from rehearsal. What do you want people to know about this whole process?
These people give a lot of time, and that's really hard for people to do with the busy lives they have now. But we have these great pictures of our rehearsals and stuff, and you will see people on stage, and we have a ball. But it's not just us; it's 100+ people behind us as well. Waiters, waitresses, people making food, serving it, cooking it, people down in the kitchen that you never even see. And they put in just as much time and dedication as we do. So, we're kind of the selfish ones. Get our faces up there and get some recognition, at least, facial recognition. But there's so many others that do not. And that's really, something that we appreciate so much, and that's what makes this whole thing happen.
On Monday, I reminded my t-shirt and sweatshirt sellers that are working this week, what time to be there and all that kind of stuff. So I did this Monday afternoon, and within seconds I get a text back from one of the people saying, "I can't wait." It's Monday afternoon. She can't wait. She's not working till Saturday night. So that just kind of, says too what it's all about for people.
Yeah. Okay, Fritz, the last time I saw you on stage at Heart-A-Rama, you were in a tutu saying, "If I came back from history," are you playing a role this year or just directing?
I have a role this year. I am directing also, but it's not in a tutu, unfortunately. I know people might want to see that. I'm sure not many people really want to see it, but
But he's not much improved because he's a fib this year.
But
Sorry to interrupt.
I would just kind of echo what everybody else was saying about volunteers, and I've kind of had this thought over the last couple of weeks because we put in a lot of time. I mean, with people like Karen and others, that commit to doing stuff all year long, and we don't take a break. There's almost literally the days or weeks after we're done with the show, we're deciding on what the theme is for next year and start getting things organized. While still wrapping up the current year, but I really kind of always think that this is all volunteers. Nobody gets paid to do this, and they show up, and sometimes you think it's not going well. We've got a lot to do, and sure enough, things come together. We move it all in, we set it up, and the place goes from a basketball court to Heart-A-Rama in a matter of 24 hours, and here we are, and it's going to go quick. But it wouldn't be there unless we had, like Tom said, a couple hundred people helping us. If you count throughout the year, it's probably 250 people that put their efforts into this. So it is fortunate to be on stage, and you get the chance to be laughed at and have fun. But it is all the people behind us that make us, the folks on stage look good, and just the show in general come off. And we're very appreciative. And I don't think we say thanks enough to all of our volunteers.
Yeah, thank you to everyone, because it is such a special and such a unique event to experience. And the fact that it's all of that while doing good, while raising funds for the Heart Association, it's an incredible matchup. Tom, I saw you in some of the rehearsal pictures. So are you directing as well as playing?
I am directing a musical. It is a Thanksgiving a Thanksgiving day at the Bonkers house. So it's kind of a unique situation there. So I am doing that, as well as, as much fun it is directing, you can't take a ham off the stage. It just it's where we started and where we enjoy being. So we've got to be up on stage as well. So yes, absolutely.
I'm just going to share this photo again. One of my favorites. Here we see Tom Bartlemay sitting on the couch. We see Terry York. We see Steve. So much fun. Steve, are you looking forward to playing some roles this year?
Oh yeah. Yep. Can't wait.
Do you have a favorite you can tell us
Can't
about?
wait to remember my lines too.
Yeah, those last minutes of dress rehearsal on Monday nights, I often, every year it seems, I get this feeling like it's not that funny. We're going to have some trouble, but somehow we get through a couple of rough patches when we get going, and all of a sudden people are laughing, and we know what to do, and it turns almost automatic for us. So we should be nervous, and we're excited, but yeah, there'll be some bumps along the road, I'm sure.
And then the magic happens.
That's it.
All right.
Okay. It's like last year, it was after the 2-year COVID hiatus, but those doors opened at 6:30 like they always did. People started rushing in, the band started playing, and it's like, okay, we're going to do this. And that's what we'll do tomorrow.
I can't believe it's tomorrow already. It's fantastic. All right. So one more time, viewers, this is your chance. Heart-A-Rama opens tomorrow, April 27th, runs through April 29th, and then again, May 4th through 6th. Hey, if you see it early and you love it, come again and again. It's at Two Rivers Community House. Tickets are currently available at Tietz's Piggly Wiggly, also online at heartarama.org. Is there anything that we didn't cover that you think viewers should know?
Bring a friend or friends with you. If you've been here before, go ask a couple of neighbors or some friends who haven't, and let them see what the fun's all about.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
And it's a unique experience. If we could sit in here and try and explain it all day. Unless you put your buns in one of those seats, you can't imagine what goes on there.
And every night is different. Every night is different. It's the same, show, same actors, but with the audience makes it different and unique every single night.
I know I had a little conversation with Ted Zigman, and he says, he said he likes to come on opening night. I said, you really should come sometime on the last night so you can see what it was supposed to look like.
I think that's what he's doing this year. He's the one that a couple years ago called it an adult circus. And I like that definition of Heart-A-Rama. I thought that fitted pretty well.
It really does have all of the hoopla and energy and excitement. Can I put you guys on the spot? Can we sign off with you singing "You Gotta Have Heart"?
Oh boy. Is Damon's pitch pipe? We could use Damon's pitch
No, we
pipe.
need the pitch pipe. No.
You gotta have heart. All you really need is heart. When the odds are saying you'll never win, that's when the grin should start. You gotta have hope. Mustn't sit around and mope. Nothing's happened as bad as it may appear. Wait till next year and hope.
Nice. Oh, bravo, you guys. All right. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of Coffee on the Coast. Break a leg tomorrow night when you start saying with show. So exciting that the kickoff is going to happen. I will be there next week. Looking forward to it already.
And quickly, we'd like to thank the Coolest Coast for what you do for Heart-A-Rama as well as the rest of the lakeshore.
Yes, all your positive comments about us. We really appreciate those throughout the year.
Thank you very
Thanks
much.
so much. Thanks for making it the Coolest Coast. I'm your host today, Tina Prigge. Thanks to our guests, Fritz Dram, Tom Bartlemay, Steve Olson, and Karen Olson. Break a leg, everyone. You got to have heart.
Gotta have heart.
Thanks, Tina.
Thank
Yep.
you.
Thank you.